I thought we'd start off right with a bang and work on killing the guy in our back. Because that's my philosophy. Anytime you step on the mat with me, you're in danger. And that doesn't stop just because you have my back. So we're going to go back, escape right into a Darce choke. I think it's important that you keep your opponent constantly worried. Briscoe, black belt, trains with us. He's a great example of this. He's super, super dangerous when you're on his back. That's like his comfort zone, right? We're working on getting him passing the guard and getting top position. But you get that guy turtled up, start throwing your hooks in, he's going to tap you out with foot locks. He's going to tap you out with wrist locks. He's going to tap you out with arm locks. That front position with somebody on my back, that's great that the person on the back thinks, oh, I'm in no danger. Now he's in danger. Now don't be so sure, right? And that's a great opportunity to take advantage of what they have a seemingly dominant position. I mean, I would call it dominant. I'd call it the most dominant position in no-gi jiu-jitsu, right? It's the back. But just because it's dominant doesn't mean that we can't be attacking from there and looking to take guys out. As far as a philosophy about back defense, we're going to be running basically EBI overtime, starting with somebody on your back for all of November. So you're going to get plenty of work, both offensively on the back, working on your kills and your breaks, and on the front, working on your escapes or your kills and breaks, depending on what you choose to do. Basically, when I'm defending the back, there's 4 different ways that I can defend. Anybody tell me what those would be? Hand fighting always, right? Wu-Tang said it best, protect your neck. I've got to be hand fighting 100% of the time. But then I'm going to be basically working to escape in one of 4 directions. Left, right, either overhook side, underhook side, or down or up. If Keith's on my back, and this is sort of just basic philosophy, and when you're going live, it's something to play with. Like I'm going to show you a specific escape today. We're going to show you a whole bunch of escapes through this first 2 weeks, but you're going to have to figure out what works for you versus what body types, what attacking styles, all of those things. And so I'm just going to briefly review sort of the 4 ways that we can go here. He's on my back, number 1, protect my neck, hands in, right? Ear, here, whatever it wants to be. When I start to really come in and hand fight, the thumb is going to be my best control. If he's coming up to my neck, if I can get thumb control, that's what I would like to control when I'm fighting the hands here, is my opponent's same side thumb. But we're here, right? First direction we can go is back, is up, is here, leg pressing. When my head's over Keith's head, try and strangle me from here. I'm going to be okay. I'm driving my shoulder into him. I'm heavy on him, but I almost went out. The other way we can go, come forward. The other way we can go is down. Here, start to shrink in. What's he going to do? Transition. Yeah, he may transition there. He also may spin off for an armbar, right? Boom. I've got to be ready for that. Come up and stack and clear that arm. And then the other 2 directions are what you know from the 10th planet system as Safe Haven and Dark Haven, right? And Gray Haven is the same escape without the hooks in. So when I have hooks, who can tell me which direction is Safe Haven? Towards his underhook side, right? Where he has the underhook. I'm here. I work to get my head to the floor. I get my hips up. I start climbing over his bottom leg. We call this the ring of fire. I'm looking to escape through that ring of fire. And most of the warm-ups, he salvages the top, and we're right into some rubber guard. Dark Haven is if he takes me towards the choking side arm. He takes me this way. And the reason we call it Dark Haven, because you're going through a dark spot to be okay again. When he takes me this way, my goal is to continue our momentum. I'm going to try and plant his head onto the mat and use the mat to scrape him off my back. Again, I got to be defending the arms. I was playing around with that leg press and wasn't defending the hand and almost died. So make sure that you're always defending the arm. He takes me this way. I keep my momentum going. And then here, you saw that my head came up, right? I really want to work to get my head to the floor. Once my head's to the floor, it's the same thing. I'm shrimping out, I'm creating frames, I'm waiting for him to come up on top. If you're me, we're going rubber guard. If it's MMA, you might get some back pressure to him and come up on top. Heather teaches that a lot. But so those are our four sort of basic escapes. Leg press kind of buys me some time. I can attack the feet and do different things from there. Scooting out the bottom, turning in. A lot of times you'll get them to go for an armbar. I would much rather be defending an armbar than defending the strangle. And then I've got I've got safe haven towards the underhook side, planting my head and slamming out, or dark haven towards the choking side and taking him all the way through. Right now, we're going to talk about the darce from inside. So I'm here. I'm looking to hand fight. The important hand to deal with is the one that's over my shoulders here. But I may need to break the grip. He's going to be continuing to hand fight here. I'm trying to get a 2-on-1 and switch sides with the arm. Then my outside arm is going to come as deep as I can into his tricep and lock him down onto my shoulder so that he can't back up or bail out of here. And then I'm throwing my right arm in. I'm going to pull here, driving my elbow down to the mat. I'm coming through, locking up my choke. I was still in his legs. I'm going to use that squeeze to continue to turn inside his guard and try and finish. But I'm looking here for a hand fight. And this hand fighting, like, I'm not an expert at hand fighting from the front, right? Versus guys on my back. It's an area of my game that needs some work. Danaher breaks it down excellent. Gordon breaks it down excellent. Unfortunately, I haven't spent enough time here where it's something that feels perfect for me. But one thing I know about any position I'm hand fighting in is a technique I call milking the rat. When I'm putting all 10 of my fingers, or I should say all 4 of my fingers, on his fingernails, if I'm having difficulty breaking or controlling a grip, fingertip to fingernail, and then I can start to crush and control that hand. He's going to have a hard time. Boom, 2-on-1 here, deep hook, lock him down onto my shoulder, catch his ear, start to pull him down towards the floor, reach and finish. Questions on it? Yes.
Can you still do this if you fall right down?
To the opposite side. Here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This being across my chest is his defense. So instead of locking him down and taking him that way where my chest comes up on top and pushes it in, if I was on this side, I would have to push it in with that arm, right? I would have to push it across, catch, and come up then. Yeah.
More of a crank there.
You said it's more of a crank there.
Like you had more crank.
Yeah. Yeah, I would prefer to fall this way, right? And and I'm pulling him in, throwing him in, pushing this elbow, and then locking my grip. It's just if you need a submission, and the EBI overtime, if you submit from the bottom, it just counts as an escape. Just for those who may be asking. Any questions on what we're playing with? Let's jump with your partner, give it a whirl, and partner, talk him through it. If it's not tight, you know how to make it tight. Say, hey, this needs to be here, this needs to be there, and we'll play around with it for a little bit. Sound good? Let's run it. 1, 2.